Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to today's Real Asset and Money webinar. And of course, today we are going to be looking at the topic farmland reporting. So, joining this live broadcast today, I want to say congratulations to you. I want to celebrate you for choosing to be a part of this session. Now, this is one thing I want you to take note of. Even if you are not going to do anything with what I'm going to be telling you at the end of today's session, you would have learned something from this class. Yeah, you would have learned something. Because today we are looking at farmland reporting, how you can create wealth within 5 years by simply acquiring farmland. How you can become a millionaire overnight. Yeah, how you can become a millionaire by simply acquiring a farm. And this can happen even in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, and in 5 years. We are even saying in 5 years, this is possible. And I must tell you, what we have tested is not even up to 5 years. We have only tested 3 years, and we have results to show for it. And I'm going to be sharing that story with you shortly. So in this session, I'll be looking at farmland to 40, how to create wealth in 5 years from acquiring farmland. Now, this is one thing I want to take note of. Farmland is a gold mine. Acquiring farmland is a gold mine. It is one of the strategies that real estate company uses, but but a lot of people are not, aware of this. Yeah, it's a strategy. Most people are into real estate investment. Uh, that is the strategy we use, and if you don't know it, you will just think that these people are not telling you the entire truth. Meanwhile, before I continue, I want to introduce myself to you. My name is Olaotan Jeremiah, the founder and CEO of Whittyview Properties Limited. At Whittyview Properties Limited, we provide real estate solutions to help people achieve their dreams of a perfect life. And we do this by simply creating sustainable communities for people to achieve these dreams. We know that people have got dreams. For example, someone have a dream to travel around the world. And no matter how small your dream is, you need money to achieve it. This is why we are out here to encourage you to do more investments in real estate so that you can be able to acquire wealth. Like you can be able to, of course, have money, make that money that can help you achieve your dreams. And apart from that, we of course sell estate land where you can choose to build your family apartment or even a rental apartment, and then you are still making money from this. These things are making you money without you doing any extra work. You have only worked once and then you are making money every year. So these are the things we do at Ticket Properties Limited. And I know very well that you are joining this live broadcast simply means that you really want to do something massive in the real estate sector, or you want to leverage on real estate to create wealth for yourself. Now, telling you that real estate can help you create wealth is not overhyped. It's not something that is impossible. It has been said, that tested, has been proven. In fact, reports have also, proven it that over 80% of those who are wealthy today became so through real estate. And I'm going to amaze you, I'm going to shock you also today as to what some of the people you know what they are doing, especially with farmland. that you are not aware of. I'm going to tell you all of that today in this class. I hope you are going to learn a lot, and not just to learn, I also want you to act accordingly. I want to take massive action because it will not make any meaning. It will not be, you will not become a better person, a better version of yourself. You will not make more money. You will not create wealth in the nearest time. If the information you are hearing today, you are not going to apply it. So I want to encourage you to apply the information you are going to learn so that you can be able to create wealth using real estate. And I must tell you, real estate will help you achieve this your goal. You have financial freedom. Real estate will help you to achieve this goal. Because with real estate, it has been seen and been tested that you can actually achieve something massive. So, farmland to 14, how to create wealth in 5 years from acquiring farmland. Now, let me tell you something. Investing in farmland can be very lucrative. You may not be aware of that, but the truth is this. The moment you begin to consider farmland, okay, maybe I should say, a major city today was once a farm. Begin to think and look at this from that angle. A major city, you are saying any city, like Lagos or Abuja, or wherever, even outside the country, any city you are presently seeing today, any major town you see people are living in today, was once a farmland. In fact, there are people who will tell you that my hometown is Lagos, my hometown is Abuja. Okay, maybe somebody cannot claim Abuja as their hometown. But the truth is this: some people were actually living in this location. There's no location, there's no state, there's no country, there's no village, there's nowhere that people don't live. Everywhere in this business, I've had to go for site inspections, and everywhere I get to, I see people, and these people, some of them, of course, would live in this in that village or in that community till development catch up with them. We just heard of something. I just heard of something recently that somebody was discovered from, I can't even remember the name of the cave or the village or whatever. He was discovered just of recent, and they, according to what the report said, he was actually hiding himself and his son. They were actually hiding from the Vietnam War that took place 50 years ago. You can imagine. He was hiding somewhere because he believed that, to him, he said the war was still ongoing. So he didn't want to come out so that he will not be a victim of the war, a war that ended 50 years ago. And it was just discovered that, it was recently discovered that himself and his son have been hiding for this good number of years just because of the Vietnam War that was ongoing. Can you imagine? Now, that is to tell you that people live everywhere, irrespective of what location you get to, the location you get to today, people are living everywhere. So, a farmland yesterday is can be a city today, or a city today was a farmland yesterday. And like I said earlier, the place you call city is some people's hometown, is some people's villages, I'm telling you. So if these people are saying that, for example, we use Lagos as an example, these people are saying that Lagos is their hometown. They can tell you how that they used to farm in different locations around places where you call the island or even BGC or wherever you go. These are the hometowns of some people. But of course, because of the level of development that has taken place, because of the numbers of people now living in this location. We tend to now begin to change our orientation, our the outlook of that place, our the name we give to that particular location. That is why a village, a place that used to be a village yesterday, is now being called a town, or a town that is now that used to, I mean, a city that is now being a city that you now live in today was once a town. So from village to a town, from town to city, and from city to what? Mega city. And that is what Lagos is actually becoming a mega city. So after mega city, what do we call it? Is it metropolitan? Metropolitan city. Okay, whatever it is, but I want you to know this, that farmland can be a profitable, in fact, very lucrative business venture. And let me say this, I'm not talking about farming, I'm talking about farmland. There's a difference between farming and farmland. So you can acquire a farmland and not farm on it. And of course, you can also acquire a farmland and still farm on it. So the major thing I'm pushing or sharing with you in this live broadcast is farmland. Now in 2020, during the lockdown, it was heavy COVID-19. COVID-19 hit the world. It was a global incident. It was a global incident. It was a global pandemic. And all of us, everybody went inside. So it was this year that I reached out to uh, 5 friends of mine. I told them about coming to acquire farmland, and then only 3 of them responded positive. Only 3 of them showed interest. 2 did not show interest. But of course, of these 3, one of them bought more. So we bought this land, I think, for 2,250,000. How do we bought? That was what we spent to acquire the farmland. So we acquired the farmland, 250,000 per acre. And you know one thing? This is 2023. The land is now worth 1.2 million. Now, this is not something that is being put anywhere. This is something that I was really part of, because I was the one that initiated it, and I have this friends of. In fact, after I published this particular statement, this particular information on social media, one of them called me and said, "Mr. Jerry, is it our land you are talking about?" I told him, "Of course, it's the land, the same land you bought in 2020. That's the same land I'm talking about." Yeah, the land is now worth 1.2 million. Now, my friend had to wait 3 years for this to happen. But let me tell you something. I've personally bought farmland that within 7 to 9 months, I sold it higher. Now, I bought in 2021. Yeah, in 2021, I think late 2021, I bought a farmland for 200,000. Yeah, 200,000 naira. And within the 7 months, 9 months, I think 7 months, I was going to sell for 700,000. So from 200,000 to 7. Yes, I know the period is not so much. I mean, the money is not so much. So also the period of reselling is not much, because if it is within 7 months or 9 months, and I'm selling for 700,000 naira, that's like one. Is that one 750, 200, 4, 6? That's more than 200%. That's more than 200% already. So that was what happened that to the farmland I bought. Now, I also got a land. Somebody called me has a farm, not a farmland. This one is not even a farmland. It's a pure residential land because in that location, people are already living there. So the land was going to sell for 1.2 million naira. They were going to sell the land for 1.2 million naira. So when I went for inspection, I checked the land and I discovered that people are living in that area. That this place, wow, why do they want to sell for 1.2 million naira? But of course, I'm in this business. So what I did was to negotiate I negotiated the price. Even though I know that the value of the land is worth the 1.2 and even more, but I still negotiated that the land should be sold for 900,000. So after we went back and forth and then we concluded at 950,000. Now I paid for this land. And when I was going to pay for the land, I checked the receipt of the the receipt the seller got when he bought the land in 2012. And when I checked the receipt, I was saying 300,000. So this land that was going to be sold for 1.2 was actually bought for 300,000 naira. Now I know what you are thinking. You are saying that the period has it has taken a long time. You are correct, which is from 2012 to 2023. That's the long. It's about 12 years or so. Right, I'm correct. About 12 years, 2022, 2012 to 2023. So that's about 12 years. So it is enough for that person to sell an house. But listen to me. Immediately I bought that land, in my end, the value has increased. Because if I want to sell the land today, I bought the land this year. So if I want to sell the land today, I can't sell for 950. I'm putting the value minimum. Like I don't want to. If I'm not, of course, I'm not doing anything on the land. I'm not feeding the land. The land is not taking extra money from me. So if I'm to sell with the same document I received from my seller, I'll be selling for minimum of 1.5. That's minimum. That's even the net price. So I can put asking price for 2 million. So if somebody now say, "Oh, I need this land, help me," I can now say, "Okay, come and buy the land for 1.5." That is going to be the net price. So I can't sell it far than that. And this is not up to 6 months. It's not up to 6 months for crying out loud. It's not up to 6 months, and the land is not, taking extra money from me. Now, this is how real estate works. But do you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, irrespective of the location where a land is, the moment the land gets into your hands, the value automatically increases. Whether you do something on it or not, the value will just automatically increases. Now, let me tell you something about the value of farmland. So remember, I once mentioned that if it is if it is a city today, it was once a village yesterday, or let's say a town yesterday, and even the amount they sell land even in towns now, but you can't compare it. You can't compare it to the amount you buy farmland. And there is this thing we do in real estate. If you get some of these things right, then you will not make wrong decision. In fact, it's not a wrong decision. Buying a land in anywhere is never a wrong decision as long as you can be sure that this land is secured and that this land can actually, people can uh, help you watch it or give you updates if there's any encumbrance around the land. As long as it is secured, you can always buy the land because it will not reduce in value. The moment it gets into your hands, the value automatically increases. So let's look at the value of farmland. Okay, I was going to tell you something earlier. In real estate, this is one of the things that we do. We look at the distance between the land we are inspecting or we are looking at um, turning into an estate. We look at the distance between that to a major city. So if it is not more than 30 minutes, 1 hour drive, we go for it. Because it is believed that any village or any location where the land is, if it is not more than 30 minutes, 1 hour drive to a major city, in the next between 5 to 10 years, development will somehow catch up that location. And that is how real estate have moved from major cities to places that were not known, and today they are known. Let's say, for example, many years ago, I'm sure a lot of people know about Epe. And what we knew Epe to be for was just a place where we can buy fish cheaper and bring it to town, you sell it, or bring it to the city, you sell it higher. So Epe was majorly known for fish. But today, real estate companies, apart from, yes, I know the government also played a major role in ensuring that Epe opened up. But listen to me, there are many places the government have constructed roads in this country. Yet, development are not still taking place. Let's take for example, you can go to the north, see beautiful road everywhere, including remote villages. You will see tarred road, smooth road, but are development taking place in those places? No. So it doesn't matter whether they construct the road or not. As long as it does not eat the interest or get the interest of people like real estate companies or developers. If it does not get their interest, that place will not develop. That's just simple truth. An individual cannot single-handedly develop an entire place like Epe, but with the presence of developers, places like Epe can open up, and people in the major city, even outside Nigeria, everybody is shouting Epe, 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 Epe. Everybody wants to go to Epe today because some people moved en masse to that location. So as long as it is, and if we look at this Epe we are talking about, it's not that Epe is at the backyard of Aja. It's not at the backyard of Aja, neither is it at the backyard of you still have to drive down, but because you do this smooth, so it's easy for people to quickly navigate their place of work, maybe some people places on the island, and then get back to their houses, or they can navigate to the state or to any other part of Nigeria from there, and from there they can easily enter Lagos. So those are some of the things that make these places like Epe open up. So it is not as if there's something special. Only that, of course, there has been um, uh, people have. I don't want to use the word hype. People have talked about these places, this place like Epe. People have talked about it, and today, what people just want to have, a piece of the location. So farmland has the potential to really grow speedily. Now, I once inspected some properties on land, and I discovered that even these places that are now being sold as residential plots were farmland. They were farmland. So these places were farmland, and so if they were farmland before and today is going for as residential, then it means that it's a good buy. It's a good investment to do. See, there are some virtues you will need to cultivate when coming into real estate, especially when you want to embrace real estate investment and your target farmland, or even locations where you have to buy and still wait for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You have to exercise patience. Yes, you have to be patient because it is in being patient that you earn more money. Let me give you an example. Um, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo um, has shared on several platforms how that he was the first person to get to a point some 30 years ago. I saw it to Mowe some 30 years ago. So he was at he got to Mowe and he was buying the land in acres to buy 5 acres today, 10 acres tomorrow, and of course he was so strategic that he was buying it from the same location. So he would buy till he was able to acquire nine up to 900 acres of land, and then you call it farmland. So he actually bought this 900 acres of farmland some 30 years ago, and according to what he said, he was buying. I think then he was buying for 100,000 naira, so or lesser than that. But I heard him mention 100,000 naira. I'm sure he wouldn't have bought corn for 100,000 naira. I mean, I'm sure of that. But then he was buying. What was this 30 years ago? We are talking about this 2023, right? 2023, this should be in the 90s, maybe mid 90s or so. Now, he was buying and he bought up to 900 acres. This is 2023, and he's selling the land for 30 million. Yes, selling the land of 100,000 naira for 30. No, sorry. Why am I saying 30? It's like I like. Now, he had started selling for 15 million naira. 15 million naira of a land, but just for 100,000 naira. I don't know how you want to do that mathematics, but you can begin to relate with all this information I'm sharing with you. Because this is where the wisdom is. When it comes to real estate, this is the wisdom, this is the strategy, this is what you need to do. You know, somebody like me, I was a teenager, I was buying a lot of shares. Of course, don't ask me the amount I was buying because I was just buying 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 5,000 naira. So I was buying in different companies. And maybe this also happened because that was the information I was exposed to. I was told those days we would invite speakers to my church then, and then they would teach us, even as teenagers, they would teach us about how to start, buying shares or start investing. They were teaching us about investment, but we're being told to invest in shares, in stocks. So this was what we're doing. We're buying. And before 10 years elapsed, our money, we can't even trace it again because of economic meltdown, because of global economic holocaust. So that's we can't boast of today. And in the same way, we were told, or I was told about shares, was the same way I am learning about real estate today. I'm very sure I would have most likely also got some of it. And today there are ways to go. There are different ways to go into real estate today. You don't even need to break the bank. Just like I was buying shares of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Today, there are platforms that I could buy even real estate with as low as 4,500 naira. There are platforms that could be paying even 20,000 naira every month to acquire land. See, the truth is this: it is if you are not interested, it is when you are not interested in real estate that you will say the money is expensive, or a particular land is far, or you cannot afford the particular location. If indeed you are interested in acquiring real estate, investing in real estate, you will definitely look for platforms like rich.ng to begin to pay for real estate investment, even installments. And this is how it works in real estate. So farmland has huge value that even you will not be able to measure the growth of it. That's a lot of value. And okay, let's even look at it. The worst case you can do, or the worst thing you can do on any farmland you buy is to farm there yourself. So that's no, I think that's not even the worst. I think the worst is to rent it out. That's the worst thing, that's the worst case. So once you rent out a farmland, it's easy for you to make, even though the money is not much, at least it's easy for you to make a little money from it. And from there, you can even be, getting return from the amount or the money you spent to acquire the land. So that's the worst case. And if you don't want to rent it out, you can even, farm on it yourself. Because when you farm on it yourself, yes, it is your land, but at the same time, you are also making additional money through the farming activity that is ongoing on. Let me tell you something. You have heard of Warren Buffett. I know you know Warren Buffett to be uh, uh, an investor, a computer person, but shall I shock you? Even Bill Gates. No, let me talk about Bill Gates. Let me leave one. Bill Gates, I think it's Bill Gates. Now, you have known Bill Gates to be a computer person and, of course, an investor too. But do you also know that Bill Gates has farmland? He has farmland, and that is one of his interests. That's one of the platforms he also invests money in. So he has farmland, and even this the most celebrated woman in the media space, Oprah Winfrey. Do you know that Oprah Winfrey has the largest farmland in the entire world? She has the largest farmland in the entire world. So if people like that understand the value of farmland, then what are we talking about? Go and check people, especially in developed countries. Those of them that say that they are living on an island or they are living in somewhere, there are places far to the city, far to the city. They would have acquired this location as farmland, and before you know it, they turn it to a residential property. Now, this is one thing I want to do. There are two ways to approach farmland or a particular location to buy as a farmland. There are two ways, or there are two things to look out for. Number one is you have to look out for whether that place is earmarked for farming by the government. If it is earmarked for farming by the government, don't go there, except if you want to use it for farming forever. So if it is, but the second one is that if it is not earmarked for farming by the government, then I encourage you, go ahead and buy it and then go and sleep. Just go out and relax. But someday you are going to make money from it. Don't forget, you just have to be sure that this location you are buying is secure. Yeah, you just have to be sure of that. But the place that is not earmarked for farming, if you buy it, decide it for farming, time will come that you can turn it to residential as long as it is not the government that designed that place for farming. So these are some of the things that our people in developed countries are doing. I once saw something on Instagram, a place where, in fact, the people who are living there, they cannot, nobody can just access any city. You can't access the city without an aircraft. That even in that island, they have their own airports. And it is an island. They have their own airport. So to access a major city, you have to go through the air. You have to fly. And of course, who says that cannot happen to you? Who says you can't begin to acquire this farmland and before you know it, you begin to make something out of it? And let me also mention this to you that if you have passion for farming, you can begin to acquire farmland even beginning from now. Because whether you like it or not, even in the global space, there's need for more food. There's need for more food. There's states, there are countries that really need food and export, I mean, export food to this country. Let's look at farmland as a stable investment. So unlike other investments that are subject to market volatility, I can tell you that farmland offers stability. Farmland can offer you stability. Like I've been sharing with you the benefits of farmland, how that you can begin to consider it. Because even if you don't want to wait for that long time before you start developing or converting that place into a city or residential plot, you can also farm on it. So you are not losing at all. You are not losing as long as you are sure that it is secure. So you are not losing. Okay. I also want us to consider, okay, the process of buying farmland. Yes, I've been mentioning to you that you have to buy it. So it means that you have to consider the steps you need to take to buy farmland. Now, in 2020, when I was going to buy the farmland, I told you I bought with my friends. So I reached out to agents, reached out to people, reached out to surveyors, and so got this land. I went to inspection, and from there we did our findings, know whether this place is free from government administration. And when we discovered that it was free, so we started making payments to that place. I just told you the process. That is just it. But I want to encourage you, engage professionals. Yes, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be telling you. I'm going to offer you the opportunity to also acquire even as low as 250,000 naira today. So if you're interested, you can always reach out after this broadcast. Just send a DM or I'm going to send or share my number with you so that you can begin your acquisition journey today. Now, it is 250,000 naira for the first 10 people. After that, we move it up. And the reason we are doing this is not because we will not we can't get something, we can't get a farmland for 250. But the truth is this: the rate at which people are now pricing their land is increasing. The lowest I have seen around today is even 400,000 naira. That's the lowest I have seen. So if you are considering coming into farmland, acquiring farmland, the first 10 you get for 250. So if you're interested, you can easily send a message immediately after this live broadcast. And I've shared with you how you can profit from the farmland. Either you rent it out or you farm on it yourself. And if you don't want to farm on it yourself, you can there are different style or different ways to do farming. You don't want to plant, let's say, a food crop that will require few weeks to harvest, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, even a year to harvest. You can do cash crops that will take as long as 5 years, like cashew, like oil palm. And you can do some of these things so that you can also secure your land. Because these are the things to also do to secure the land. When we say that you should take possession of the land, then what we mean is that look at the possibility around the land you have acquired, and some of the possibilities like I shared earlier is to get to farm on it. We don't want to farm on it. Just ensure that you do something there that people will know that there is somebody that is already on this land. So if you have questions, you can begin to throw it. You can begin to throw it so that we'll answer the question. So if you have questions, your questions in the chat box. So if there are no questions, I want to say thank you for being a part of this. If you are watching the replay of this live broadcast today, I want you to know that you are in the right place. We can work with you as a person, as an organization, we can work with you to achieve your real estate goals, to achieve your dreams, leveraging on real estate. And I hope that our relationship with you will be smooth and you will also appreciate it. Don't forget, my name is Olauto. So you can also reach me on 08138883406. And I'm also going to be sharing this number somewhere in the comment box or in the description button so that you can have access, direct access to me and you can immediately get started your real estate journey with us at View Properties. Thank you for being a part of this. See you next time.